all.
They didn't have the other 2 or 3.
You're done. You can come to Rotary.
They can take your showers.
Back.
Morning, Ossie.
Morning. How are you today?
Pretty good.
Amy Wondolowski.
Yes. Would you
The
believe
one
that
and
we had
only.
to, did you believe that we had to turn the heat on this morning here?
Right?
Oh, ours came on. Yeah.
Got down to 40 something, 41, I think.
Woohoo! My kind of weather.
Who said that?
I did. You know, you don't grow up in Boston and not love cold nights.
Morning, Marilyn.
Good morning, Amy.
Morning, Marilyn.
Morning, Sandy.
The Waltons.
Yeah. No, that's good night, Ossie.
Hi, Jen. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Ossie?
Very good, thank you.
Good.
Jan, you look way too relaxed.
Oh, I'm sorry. What, Fred?
You look way too relaxed.
I look way too relaxed.
No, Jan Jones.
Yeah.
Oh, my. Admit all. Ron Parker, Bob Schuster.
Is everybody enjoying the cool weather?
Oh, yes.
Love
Yes.
it.
We're discussing that.
Love it.
Love sleeping.
Well, yes. That just goes without saying, regardless of the weather.
Oh, no, it's much nicer when it's cold.
Yes. Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Ron. How are you?
Ron Parker's on mute.
Uh-oh.
And we have an echo.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Ozzy, Mike.
Hi, Ron.
Yeah, we are here.
Hey, Fred, Marilyn.
Hey, Ron.
Hi, Ron.
Amy.
Hi.
Elmer is mute.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Oh, yes, now I can.
Hey, Elmer.
So, Amy, one of the nice things about Zoom is that you get to come to all the meetings.
Isn't that
That's
nice?
right.
Yes, I love it.
Isn't that neat?
Yes.
So
Campbell.
I feel like I'm part of all of you now.
That's awesome.
You are.
Yeah.
Well,
I finally got Arlene
Jack
Schuster's
Anderson,
new book
I
in the
didn't say
mail.
hi. Check is in the mail?
I
What
finally
about-
got Arlene Schuster's new book in the mail.
Oh,
Oh, good.
I'm going to be ready for when I become a single woman again. I'm going to have joy. I think.
I thought you were going to name yourself Joy.
Very nice.
Go Auburn.
I actually got a Hungarian in the mail the other day. No checks for me.
Oh.
As long as you're not pole dancing anymore, that's all we care about.
Oh, Jake is here.
Every 4 years, guys, we go to the polls.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
I'm hungry every day.
How many have already voted?
I did.
I did.
Twice.
Nice. Good job. You voted
This
for
is how to spell Kanye.
Hey, Jack Anderson, how you doing?
I couldn't believe he was actually on the ballot. I was pretty shocked.
I don't know what the deal is.
Do you have your
Can you hear me?
turned on?
Yes.
Wow.
Hi, Elmer. Welcome.
Hey,
Hi,
Jack,
can you hear
Jack,
me?
We
Jack,
can.
the last time I saw you, Jack, you were up at Wolford fishing for trout.
That was a long time ago.
Smoking a cigar.
How do we get my picture?
Hello.
How do we get my picture?
Hello.
Are you on a phone or a computer?
My computer.
Do you have a
I can see.
camera?
I can see all of you.
Do you
I
have
can
a
see
camera
my
on
name,
your
but
computer, though?
I don't know.
Lower left.
My camera's on.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, Dara. Well, if your
Oh,
camera,
John, you have to go and help Elmer.
I'm about 30 miles away, so it may take a little while.
Lower left on the screen.
I turn it off.
Yeah, Dad, turn it off and turn it back on.
Turn what off?
Hey, Dara.
Hi.
How's
it going?
Hey, Dara, don't forget there's an election next week.
Don't remind me.
I think that'll make her happy when it's over, huh?
Yes. I wish it were yesterday.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Strange days indeed.
Here comes Danny. Hi, Danny. Jade Olin is here.
Jill Campbell.
Jill Campbell is here, yes.
Hi, Jill.
Hi, Jill.
Hi, Jill.
Hi, Jill.
Jay Grossman's iPhone is going to be here in a minute.
Rachel and Leela joined us.
They did.
And Jay.
Here's Jay.
No, it's just Jay's iPhone. That's not really Jay.
Dad's trying to get his picture on the screen, and you said to turn it off and turn it back on, but he says turn what off?
Turn and speak on.
If he mouses over the very left-hand corner of the Zoom screen, there's a microphone and a video camera.
Hi, Rosa.
Hi. How are you?
I am well.
I'm trying to put my in a way that you guys can see me.
Oh, yes.
Well, you're not driving today, so
You're
that's
a smile.
I'm ready to go driving. I said, so at least I want to be part of the meeting. And then I have listened to you.
Well, I like upside down.
I'm here. I've got to listen for the plumber also.
What is John saying?
Dad, go to the bottom left of your screen and you'll see start video.
Okay.
Click on that.
It has start video and then there's a cross, a cross on it or something.
Exactly. Just click on the cross.
Click on the red line on the camera.
Click on it.
Now it says select camera. Choose.
No, just
virtual.
don't click on the cursor, just click on the start video.
I did. It says up at the top, cannot start video, fail to start the video camera. Please select another video camera in settings.
Hi, Fred.
Good morning.
Good afternoon. It's already 2 noon. Good afternoon.
Oops.
Morning, Ron Smith.
How's everybody doing?
There you are.
Doing great,
Ron. Great.
Good morning, Ron.
Elmer, you are pressing the arrow. Don't do that. Just press on the camera itself.
Just press on the camera.
Are you from?
See, it has a little arrow at the right of the camera.
Well, everybody's different.
Yeah.
That could be a book title. Everybody's different.
No, not on that.
We know that.
He's right.
Well,
Press on the camera.
Some of the cameras are different. I'm from my laptop. My laptop doesn't have an arrow.
And oh my gosh.
There you are. Hi, Jackie.
Hi to Jack Anderson.
Hey, Jackie.
Hey.
Hey.
Kurt Beyer and Johnny Watson, welcome. I see
Hello.
Ron. There's Bernadette.
Hi, Bernie.
Hi, Bernie.
Hi, how are you?
Let's see. Oh, there we go. Look at that fine, good man and sitting in his library there. That's Ron Giles.
Hi, Ron.
Hi, Ron.
Good morning.
Justin,
12:01.
up and running. Rick is here looking all smiley. Here's Vate.
Bob is there.
And did I say hi to Chip yet? Chip Landsey, hello, welcome.
What's your question?
Are you in there yet?
Hi, Jill.
Hi,
Yes.
Charito.
Okay, I'm seeing Elmer coming up in the upper right-hand corner there.
All right, where are
I
we?
have to leave a little early today, you guys, because our probate court is doing a training that we have to attend by Zoom, by Teams.
Very cool.
Oh, how fun.
Oh,
All right, so it is noon and I'm going to start the meeting. So here we go. Welcome.
Oh, perfect.
Halloween.
Fiddlesticks. I always forget to do this. Share computer sound. Let's try this again. Ring the bell.
Hooray.
Great.
All right. Our invocation actually today I messed that up and I don't see Vaughn in here. Vaughn is supposed
I'm
to.
here.
Oh, you're here. Okay, Vaughn is giving our invocation today.
It doesn't look like fun.
It doesn't. I'm incompetent.
Me, I promise.
Yay!
Are
Hi,
we ready?
Vaughn.
Shall we pray? Our Father in heaven, we join together at this time with grateful hearts for thy many blessings. We're grateful for President Andrew and all of those who facilitate this meeting and give so much of their time and effort. We thank you for this great country, the freedoms we enjoy, particularly our freedom to vote and exercise our rights. We pray for thy blessing upon each of us and all those in this nation. We ask thee to touch the hearts of everyone with greater sense of brotherhood and care and compassion. We ask thee to bless our speaker and those who participate in honoring Elmer today. We thank thee again for all of the freedoms and for this great organization of Rotary that stands in front of maintaining those. Bless us each in our different assignments and in our efforts, we pray. In the name of Jesus Christ, amen.
Amen.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Happy Halloween. I just got my witch's hat.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yay!
You've never looked better.
I know.
Welcome to Christine. Rick Greenstein, I know I did not ask you this in advance, but would you lead our pledge?
Unmute him. There you go.
Yes, I will.
Thank you.
I have a tiny flag behind me, so I'm going to turn.
Okay.
Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Excellent. Thank you so much. All right. Our patriotic song today. You're a grand old flag.
You're a grand old flag, you're a high-flying flag, and forever in peace may you wave. You're the emblem of the land I love, home of the free and the brave. Every heart beats true under red, white, and blue, where there's never a boast or a brag. But should old acquaintance be forgot, keep your eye on the grand old flag.
Now I want to watch the movie.
Good job, Andy.
So welcome to our October 27th Zoom meeting. So this is, I hope somebody other than me gets this reference. The knock knock, who's there? Ahoo, Werewolves of London. Anybody? Anybody? No? Okay.
I got it. It's
Good
a song
stuff,
lyric.
Good stuff.
Thank God.
Woo.
There we go. Oh, here comes Laura Steves Walker. So today we actually have several guests. We have Jack Anderson joining us. Say hi, Jack.
Howdy.
Hi, Jack. Hi,
Hi,
Jack.
Jack.
We have, let's see, where are we? We have family and friends of Elmer. We have, let's see, where are we, Jack? Or Carol Anderson.
And John Cameron.
John Cameron. And
Everyone.
am I missing anybody here? Because I'm just, there's Justin. He's not guest. Right. So welcome. Do we have any visiting Rotarians that I'm not aware of that I'm not seeing here? All right. So here's our welcome.
Mute everybody, please.
Mute everybody. All right. I'm going to mute you.
Okay.
Let's see here. Let's mute everybody. Okay. Multitask.
Howdy, we're glad to have you here. Welcome, we sing it loud and clear. Relax, enjoy the program, and won't you come back to see us again?
Yay, Aussie. So upcoming next week on Election Day, we have Solutions for Change speaking with us. Then we have a board meeting on the 10th, and Christine and Colleen will be talking to us about Rotary Foundation. Susan Day from the Burn Institute on the 17th, another Haven House on the 18th. On the 24th, Ron Parker's presentation on the Wounded Warriors fishing trips. And then Women's First Step House from Tony Engel, another Haven House on the 2nd. And Robin Douglas will talk to us about art censorship on the 8th. And I don't think Warren Zevon is part of art censorship, but we'll go with that. Any member moments that I'm not aware of at this point? Hearing none, let's move forward. We have In the Wild. Okay, this one was sent to me. I didn't put this one up myself, but we went out and explored the park. Actually, we started in Balboa Park, and there's seven bridges that you can cross down there around the park. And they're actually, some of them are really, really cool. Justin got to eat breakfast on the 15th. Doesn't look like my breakfast, but that's okay, right? And then Colleen got her pool going, I guess, on the 22nd finally. Is that correct, Colleen? Is that when you finally got your pool up and running, or is the dog learning to swim? Yeah. Colleen's still muted. All right, we'll move on. All right, this is one of the funnest things I get to do. We get to do Rotarian of the Month. And our Rotarian for this month is a long-term member whose service to the club, it just goes beyond anything we can possibly imagine. She's done so much for this club, and recently turned one of her projects over to somebody else and then immediately picked up a new project. So no longer doing the directories, but now doing the birthday of the month. Congratulations, Ms. Lynch. You are our Rotarian of the month.
Thank you, Andrew.
Yay!
What a
Very
great
well
choice.
deserved.
Way to go, Marilyn.
Very well deserved. If it weren't for Marilyn, I don't know where I would be today. Probably out on a street somewhere, sleeping under a box. All right. So let's get to the program, because this is the best. This is the whole reason we are all here. let's talk about Elmer Cameron. He is here, right? So we got to be nice. We can't say all the mean things. Today we're going to focus on the good things. Irv, would you like to take over before I run your video, or do you want to just start with the video? Irv.
It's mute.
Irv is still muted. Either that or he's pretending to be here. Can't hear you, Irv. So I will start with your video.
Good afternoon, fellow Rotarians. I feel very privileged to be able to participate in this program today, where we get to honor an extraordinary gentleman, someone who is a past president of this club and a member for over 4 decades. You know, as you no doubt know, we do honor such special Rotarians each year at our Crew de Cuisine. And because we are so blessed with so many wonderful members, you can feel very confident that sometime in the future, at such a Crew de Cuisine event, you too will be so honored. The only small caveat is that it might just take 120 years. Now, it's fair to say sometimes we get to honor a couple, as is the case with our 2020 honorees, past President Keith Rickenbacker and his beautiful bride, Charito. So maybe 120 years is an exaggeration, but I think you could look forward to being honored in no more than 100 years. So someone had the brilliant idea to suggest, because we have 50 programs in a given year, why not take the opportunity to honor additional Rotarians at just such programs? And so that idea was well received, and as you no doubt recall, it wasn't that long ago that we had our first honoree, the very first lady of Esccondido, our first lady of Esccondido Rotary, Marilyn Mukamela. And so it is with great pride that joining Marilyn and being honored today is our very own. Let me turn the camera around so you can see who our honoree is today, and is none other than past president and 42 plus year member of Esccondido Rotary, Elmer Cameron. Elmer, as you are no doubt aware, is not only a highly valued and respected member of this club, but also a cherished friend and a champion of the city of Esccondido. Let me share a few other photos with you of Elmer.
Come on, machine.
Here is Elmer, and you might ask, is that a member of Rotary, or is he a leading man in the motion picture industry? He could be either or both. Here's Elmer with friends and fellow Rotarians and past presidents, Jack Safel on the left and Jack Raymond on the right. Sadly, we lost Jack Safel recently. I discovered that Elmer, most of his friends are called Jack. I don't know if that's a coincidence or it just evolved that way. Let's look at the next photo. Here's Elmer with Santa Claus. Again, Jack Safel was our perpetual Santa for many decades. Next photo, we see Elmer with his good friend Ron Giles. Elmer with his beautiful bride Ruth. Another picture, Elmer and Ruth. And, you know, this picture I look at this picture and I say to myself, life is unfair, unjust, and often uncharitable, because some people evolve through life going from, like the guy on the left, goes from juvenile to geriatric, where the guy on the right, and by the way, this picture is some 40 years old. Does the guy on the right look any different today? It's so unfair. So here's a case where a guy goes from adolescent to ageless. So, no doubt Elmer, you have observed, has incredible energy, vitality, ambition, and that baby face, youthful appearance. And so you might very well question, how is it possible to have that energy and youth and be an octogenarian? Well, the answer, my friends, is it's not possible, because Elmer happens not to be an octogenarian at all. And I have proof, because here he is celebrating with us together over a year ago, Elmer's 90th birthday. So, my fellow Rotarians, Elmer is not a septuagenarian, nor is he an octogenarian. He's simply Superman. Joining us today to honor this extraordinary gentleman are some very special Rotarians in their own right, including former Assistant City Manager and fellow Rotarian Jack Anderson. That's right, another Jack. The 2016 and 2017 Rotarian of the Year, Johnny Watson. And if you're a Johnny, you're also a Jack. Educator extraordinaire and former superintendent of the Esccondido Union School District, our own Ron Jack Giles, and past Coeur honoree and best-selling author Arlene Jack Schuster. They will be followed by a special presentation by our esteemed mayor, the past president, Paul Jack McNamara. So, fellow Rotarians, without further ado, please enjoy the program.
All right, outstanding. Irv, sorry the sound was so low. I thought we had that fixed. I hope the rest of them are loud enough. We'll see here. So here we go. We're going to have our own Arlene Jack Schuster give us her video about Elmer. 42 years, Elmer. That's almost longer than I've been alive. That's amazing, but almost longer. All right, Arlene Jack Schuster, speak away.
Good afternoon, fellow Rotarians. I'm here to honor Elmer. Now, Elmer and I go way back because October is our month. We met and became close friends in October of 1985. And from that day forward, we had breakfast together every Saturday morning for many years, until just a couple years ago. Well, let me tell you how much I know about Elmer, which is a lot. First of all, I can tell you that he likes to drink tea. His favorite donuts are maple donuts with lots of nuts on the top. That's how you keep Elmer happy. Now, we weren't the only ones who had breakfast together every Saturday all those years, until just recently, except for the times, of course, he and his wife, Ruth, were traveling. We called ourselves the Walking Group, and we met at Rotarian Tom's house, Tomlinson, and at Loma Serenas, and we walked around the pathway below their house. We started off 5 miles, and then a little later it became 4 miles, then 3. Then pretty soon we were walking a quarter of a mile before we had breakfast on the patio. And at very last, it was only Ruth and Elmer who were walking the path. But whatever it is, you can see for 38 years, we raised our children, married them off. In some cases had sad endings. We've had babies, we've not had babies. We've had grandbabies and great-grandbabies. So we've shared a lot of life's experiences together. Saturday morning, we met for at least 2.5 hours. Now, that isn't all we did. Thanks to Bob Paiva, fellow Rotarian and district governor at one time, we made trips to Twain Harte and stayed in their cabin a couple of times. We walked across the Coronado Bridge for some charity, and we also helped Elmer stuff envelopes for his city council race. So we've been devoted to each other for a long time. So, Elmer, here's to you. You deserve every accolade coming to you. And we wish you many, many more years of health and happiness for yourself and that happiness you've shared with others.
Well said. Well said. So now we have our friend Jack here, who's going to, Jackie Watson, who's going to share his memories of Elmer with us. Let's see.
President Andrew, fellow Rotarians and guests, it gives me great pleasure to honor Elmer for his service to our community and to Rotary. I know Elmer Cameron in many ways for his service and leadership to many organizations and his family. He's a retired educator and past associate superintendent of Esccondido schools. I enjoyed meeting his wife Ruth and learning about their 5 children when we represented neighborhood health care at the local events. Elmer's leadership and service on the board of directors of neighborhood health care is only the beginning of his service history. And I really only know a few of the areas, but certainly we all know he's past president of the Rotary Club of Esccondido. He's past president and serves on Esccondido Library Board of Trustees. He also had a leadership position in Palomar YMCA, the Boys and Girls Club, Elizabeth Hospice, and the American Cancer Society. But I really got to know Elmer best as a fellow board member at Neighborhood Healthcare and an advocate for us at both the state and the national level. I learned that he had experience visiting legislators in Sacramento on behalf of the school district. So he was asked to use those same skills for neighborhood health care. He's made several trips to represent us at the annual Day at the Capitol event in Sacramento and has done the same job on the national level in Washington, D.C. at the National Association of Community Health Centers. So that's a lot of travel and energy for Elmer, but you know, he's represented all of us very well. So thank you, Elmer, for his leadership and service to Rotary and many organizations, but particularly to neighborhood health care, and congratulations to Elmer and on this recent and well-deserved honor as a servant leader in our community. Again, congratulations, Elmer.
All right, I'm going to do one thing here real quick here. Let's see what I can stop this for 1 second. Let's see if I can turn this sound up. Oh. All right. No, there's no control for me to turn up the sound. They were all recorded pretty quiet, I guess. All right. Let's move on then. And thank you, Johnny. That was a side note. Not that Elmer is far from our minds ever, but his honor, the neighborhood health honoring him last month was really what sparked my imagination as far as who our next honoree should be, and other people as well. And that's a lot. It was a pretty amazing program where they honored him, especially given COVID and not knowing how to do these kinds of things remotely. And that was a well-deserved honor, and it certainly sparked in my mind that this was someone that we needed to recognize in our club again. Now, Jack Giles, What can we say about Jack Giles? Well, he'll tell you himself. Hang on.
Good afternoon, fellow Rotarians. It's my distinct honor today to speak about Elmer Cameron. Elmer Cameron has been a good friend of mine for 40 years. He's also been a very good Rotarian. He's been a member of this club since 1978, and he was the president in 1989-90. First question we may have to answer is, how did Elmer get to Esccondido? Well, Elmer grew up in San Pedro. He went into the Army. He became the youngest platoon sergeant in his battalion. When he got out of the Army, he went to school at the University of California, Santa Barbara. He earned a degree in speech pathology and psychology, in addition to earning an administrative credential, which allowed him to be an administrator in the California school systems. He and Ruth brought their wonderful family to Escondido in 1968. Elmer was the Associate Superintendent of Supplemental Education in the Escondido Union School District for many, many years, 25 years or more. This is a big job. He was in charge of all of special education, all nurses, all psychologists, all speech therapists, homeschooling, attendance, and legislation. A big job that involved many, many people. In addition, Elmer was the point man for the Board of Education and the superintendent whenever a tough assignment came about. The reason he was the guy that was chosen for these most difficult jobs was because he could deal with irate people. He could deal with irate parents, he could deal with irate staff, he could deal with all kinds of people that most people would not have the patience to deal with. He's a great listener. He dealt with the following things which were very contentious in Escondido. The discontinuation of busing. Busing ceased as far as free busing for students, and it upset many, many people. He dealt with year-round school, which was a controversial issue for 10 years in Escondido. He was always the point man. He dealt with boundary changes. Escondido was growing very quickly at that time. We built new schools, and every time a new school comes online, you have to do boundary changes. Many people get upset when you do boundary changes, and Escondido and Elmer was the point man to deal with these issues. He also was the point man, the public relations officer, when it came to negotiations between the board and staff. This also became very contentious, and Elmer did a great job handling that. So the Escondido Union School District should be very, very indebted to Elmer Cameron for all of the great things he did to get us through these contentious times. During this time, Elmer also was involved in the community. He's been in Rotary, like I said, since 1978. He was on the city council. He's been on the neighborhood health care board for over 20 years. And since he is retired, he has been a full-time volunteer at the Escondido City Library. And when I say full-time, I mean full-time 5 days a week. Elmer was also the president of the Friends of the Library for 20 years. He just passed that presidency on to another person, but for 20 years he was the president of that organization. He works every day, as I said, 5 days a week in the used bookstore that's run by the Friends of the Library, which raised $75,000 last year for the library and has raised about that much for the last 10 years or so. He also has been my colleague on the library board of trustees. He's been on for 20 years. Elmer is a great family man. He has a wonderful wife, Ruth, a fantastic teacher. He has 4 kids and has many grandkids, and who give Ruth and Elmer a great deal of pleasure. I want to thank Elmer publicly for sponsoring me into the Rotary Club in 1987. Congratulations to you, Elmer, for receiving this well-deserved recognition. You should be very proud of yourself for all the contributions to our community. Thank you for your tremendous service. It's been my honor to be your friend for 40 years, to have worked with you in the Esccondido Union School District for 20 to 25 years, and to have been on the Esccondido Board of Trustees for the last 5 years with you. Congratulations, Elmer.
Very, very nice. Very well put. And it is a reflection also of our club, that these are the members of our club. These are the people that we make up our co-Rotarians. These are people making a difference in our community, and that's what we're here for, right? So now we have another speaker. This is a gentleman I actually sadly admit I have never met, but this video was pretty impressive as well. Mr. Jack Anderson.
Greetings to all of you at the Esccondido Rotary Club. My name is Jack Anderson, and I'm honored to be providing some comments about your recognition and your acknowledgement of Elmer Cameron's community leadership role. Elmer and I have been acquainted for about 40 years, and I'm pleased to be part of recognizing his community leadership. When I first came to Esccondido in 1980, I was the community services director. And one of the things that we always did was work very closely with the school district. We were always working with other partners like that to improve community opportunities for the young people in Esccondido. And Elmer was part of that in his leadership role with the district as well. I also had the opportunity to work with Elmer when he was elected to the city council. I was deputy city manager and worked closely with all the council members, and specifically in many programs that they wanted to try and advance for the community that involved our city manager's office. Some of those engagements with council members also related to trying to resolve constituent issues. And Elmer was very actively engaged with the community and would be willing at all times to listen to a constituent's concern and try to find a way to provide a solution to that concern. The other good thing about Elmer is he also would listen when we said, Elmer, that's really not our role. And he was represented the community and understanding what we could and couldn't do as a public agency. Elmer's community engagement is also reflected in his role with the Rotary Club. And as we know, Rotary's motto, service above self, is a lifelong process for all of us, and Elmer lives that effort. I can identify with Rotary's impact on the community as I'm a member of the Sunrise Rotary, and 40 years ago, Sunrise Rotary was formed through the efforts of Esccondido Rotary, and I, for one, appreciate that. And naturally, with Esccondido Rotary and Sunrise Rotary, we are the top 2 Rotary clubs in Esccondido. And I know which is number 1. You all can figure it out. Elmer also has a significant role in the community that has mostly taken place since his retirement from his professional work with the school district. And that is his support and efforts with the Esccondido Library. Libraries are considered by many to be a center point of the community, providing for education, technology support, and lifelong learning. And these are key elements of any successful library, and the Esccondido Library measures up in all regards. Elmer is a trustee appointed by the City Council, to represent the council to the library relative to what services they undertake and the importance of the library back to the city council. In addition to his role as trustee, Elmer has been extremely active with the Friends of the Library. He's engaged with many volunteers in that effort, and they are successful in many ways as an organization, including running the shop in the library, which raises funds for library programs, many of which wouldn't be available without their funding support. Elmer's efforts have also included, over the many, many years, advocating for a new library in Escondido. I'm with the Escondido Library Foundation, and we are partners with the Friends of the Library to bring about a new library for Escondido. It's time for a change. Current library opened in 1981, and I was fortunate as I came to Escondido in 1980 to have that project as something that I needed to complete, and we opened that library in 1981. That building has been serving Escondido very well for 39 years, but times have changed. Modifications have been made to upgrade the library, but Elmer and I both agree that technology and other kinds of building flexibility issues are critical. So it's needed for us to bring about that change to the community and to the library. Elmer is committed to seeing a new library for Escondido in his lifetime, and so am I. We believe that we share that commitment with Ron Giles, who also serves as a library trustee. So Elmer, it's continuing to be a pleasure to work with you on so many community efforts. Congratulations on this recognition by Escondido Rotary of your exemplary career, both professional and avocational, of serving and supporting the Escondido community. You're an example for all of us. Keep up the good work, Elmer. I'm happy to be a partner with you.
Brilliant. Our mayor, he's not on video, but he is online here, has a little something he'd like to share. Mayor McNamara?
I'm here and I am online. I have a special proclamation for you, Elmer. You can see it, and I'd like to read it to everyone. City of Escondido Proclamation, Elmer Cameron Day, October 27th, 2020. Whereas Elmer from an early age understood the importance of education and assisting others, and whereas Elmer served in the Korean War and was the youngest first sergeant for Infantry Combat Company, and whereas Elmer attended several universities wherein he received a degree in clinical psychology, a master's degree in speech pathology, and earned his administration credential, which led him to a lifelong career in education. And whereas Elmer was a teacher for many years and eventually went on to become the Associate Superintendent of Supplemental Education in the Escondido Union School District and was in charge of all special education, nurses, psychologists, speech therapists, homeschooling, attendance, and legislation. And whereas Elmer was an education advisor for Assemblyman Bill Bradley and served as an Escondido City Council member as Mayor Pro Tem, and whereas during Elmer's 52 years in Escondido, he has served either as chairman or as president with the Escondido Rotary Club, Palomar Family YMCA, Elderlink, and Civitan Club of Escondido, and he has served as a board member of the Boys and Girls Club of Escondido, California Center of the Arts, Escondido, Elizabeth Hospice, and the American Cancer Society. And whereas Elmer's passion has been in the Escondido Public Library, serving as a trustee on the library board and as president of the Friends of the Library for 20 years, as well as working every day as the Friends of the Library used bookstore. And whereas Elmer's commitment to education and dedication to serving our community is immeasurable and greatly appreciated. Therefore, I, Paul McNamara, Mayor of the City of Escondido, on behalf of the City Council, do hereby proclaim October 27, 2020 as Elmer Cameron Day. Signed and sealed this 27th day of October, 2020. Congratulations, Elmer. Well done.
Escondido's captain. Very nice, Bill. So go ahead. Oh, I see. I'm getting an echo. So we actually have about 10 minutes, and I'd love to have other people who didn't record videos. If you have something you'd like to share about Elmer, please unmute yourself and let's see what other people have to say.
Okay, Andrew, I'll give it a go.
Here we go. Mr. Smith goes to Washington.
I had the pleasure of knowing Elmer, being a friend and working with him in the Esccondido Union School District, especially beginning in the middle 80s when I took on an administrative role. And I'm not going to rehash the accolades and accomplishments that have already been mentioned, but I want to talk about another one that I think is just as significant. You'd heard Johnny talk about his background and knowledge in lobbying efforts and what he started to call legislative action. I got my first taste of it in the middle 80s when he organized an event that involved representatives from our school district and those in La Mesa Spring Valley to go to Sacramento and have an orchestrated set of meetings with our local representatives to talk about local Escondido needs and what we thought they might be able to do to help out. I was maybe his fourth or fifth choice for people that were invited to go. But it turns out I was smart to say yes because A, I enjoyed it very much. B, I learned an awful lot. And C, I got to watch Elmer evolve into a very, very effective legislative advocate for Escondido Public Schools. In fact, through his work with the Association of California School Administrators that hasn't been mentioned here, he pretty much got the entire state administrator corps to take on the understanding and the ability to lobby as a cohesive unit. In fact, he became the first state level vice president for legislative action after he started that program in AXA, and it's been going strong ever since. Pretty amazing accomplishment in its own right, but on top of everything else that's been mentioned, for me, that just gets a wow. The other thing is you in the early days, you may have seen Elmer running around with his own camera, Jill Campbell's efforts notwithstanding. And his nickname, he did that on our legislative trips too, and his nickname became Elmer Camera rather than Elmer Cameron. And we teased him about that a lot. He didn't care. He loved the attention, and he always brought you copies of the cool pictures he took of you and the rest of the folks on his events. So Elmer, I love you. I appreciate you so very much and what you did to help shepherd my career. I've always been proud to be a colleague and a friend, and congratulations to you.
Brilliant. Does anyone else have anything they would like to say to or about Elmer?
When did he sleep?
Jay Grossman wants to know what he sleeps, but
when he sleeps.
When does he sleep? So Danny Sherlock says, as a boy, Elmer played basketball at the Boys Club in San Pedro. As an adult, he served on the board of directors of the Boys and Girls Club in Escondido. That's what I call giving back. Absolutely true. All right, very nice. Any other comments? Any other people want to speak up at this point? I'm looking, trying to do this. So I'm gonna give my own impression of Elmer. Obviously, I'm very aware of my lack of roots to Escondido. I only moved to San Diego County in the year 2000, and I just came into Escondido itself a little over 2 years ago. And being a new member of the Rotary Club, Elmer was always happy to reach out and wanted to know how I was doing, how I was enjoying it. But shortly after I moved here, imagine my surprise as I'm walking my dog at 6 o'clock in the morning to run into Elmer and his lovely wife. And frankly, I will be very honest here. When you see somebody outside of their element, sometimes you don't recognize them. You know, it was like, I know this face. Why do I know this face? And he told me who he was. And have to say that he's, even away from Rotary, which shouldn't be a surprise, but out there on the street, he's the most gracious, most concerned, always asks about the family. He's a great neighbor. And I regret that I haven't had the depth of experience trying to get ready to do this and trying to run my own little business. And it's not about me, but I regret that I haven't had an opportunity to take advantage of how close Elmer lives to me, to get to know him and our history better. And I'm looking forward to July 1st, maybe finally being able to have enough time to just wander up the street, sit down with a cup of iced tea and a book and just talk to him. He's an amazing, amazing man, an amazing person, and an amazing member of our club. And so, Elmer, I will be delivering this before July 1st. We have a crystal for you that says, presented to past president Elmer Cameron, Esccondido Rotary Club's Service Above Self Award for 42 years of unparalleled leadership, support, and a lifetime of service to others. With love and infinite thanks, the Rotary Club of Esccondido. And those words, I mean, as we've heard from, yes, let's let the applause go. There we go. I think the words that really struck me most on this were unparalleled leadership, and the stories, both recorded and now, you know, additionally Ron's, he's always stepped up. He's always looked at a situation and found a way to make it happen. And if no one else was leading, there he was at the front, and that's pretty amazing. And he's a pretty amazing member of our club and a pretty amazing citizen of our town. And thank you very, very much for everything. As Leela Sackfield points out, a humble and faithful servant are words that come to her mind. So I will now open up. Elmer, can you speak to us? Do you want to say something? Need to unmute.
Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Oh my goodness, all this technology, it's amazing. Oh, it makes you humble, I'll tell you. Anyway, I'm just moved by all your comments and the memories that you recall for me, Ron and the school districts and other people. At my age, what really becomes important is the time when I'm walking and I'm meditating and thinking back, you know, pulling in all those memories. I have so many good memories, not only with Rotarians, with other people, my family and my children or grandchildren and so forth. I cherish being a Rotarian, not because I have to be at meetings and so forth, but I just like being there with other people. I've enjoyed all of you. I've really, really cherished every one of our relationships and programs that we got together with. But the most thing is important. I'll take something from a former Rotarian. Thank you for the memories, Rotarian. Thank you very much.
Very well said. And I have to admit, Nan, there's Nan. Here's one other comment that I had missed earlier, and I apologize. Dan Sundquist had commented, Elmer served the city council when the city made a decision to purchase Daly Ranch, which is a jewel to our city. Another far-sighted and leading action. Let's see here real quick. Let me see here. One last thing. I'm scanning. Carol, would you like to say anything about your dad?
There are some.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
I'm grateful to be able to hear all these things. It's cool to see some names I know. Mr. Giles, who was my math teacher when I was at Hidden Valley, but just to hear all the beautiful things and the memories that people share about my dad makes me unbelievably proud. And to be able to be a part of it, I lived away for a little bit, so hearing some of these things is really nice. Knowing all the accomplishments and growing up with just such a wonderful family, and my dad was just always the best. You guys see what's good in him, what we see as well. So I appreciate everything everybody has to say.
John, do you want to say anything?
Sure. Hello, everyone. Kind of this, what I'm thinking about has been paralleled in the way he's dealt with the school district. Well, first off, what I'd like to say is I consider my dad the smartest person I've ever met. And it's not that he knows everything, but he knows how to find answers. He knows how to go to the right people so he can get results, even if he doesn't have the results himself. So I like that about Dad. The other thing I found out is he never blew up at us. I mean, he might have yelled at me because I deserved it, and I definitely deserved it sometimes. But he had such an even keel that, even when I was young and they called me Spaz because I was all over the place, it was nice to have a stable father. And I think that is something that's helped him in his negotiations with the school district, the teachers unions, et cetera. He has a very even keel about himself. And I've tried to emulate that in my professional career, and I've found it to be very helpful. If you don't get all bent out of shape, you can get things done. So I really appreciate that. I love my dad, I love my family, and thank you all for honoring him. I appreciate that.
And thank you for sharing him with us. So we had a new person join towards the end real quick, and I don't know, Nan, N-A-N. Do we know who this is?
That's probably Nanette, my sister.
Ah, Nanette, would you like to say anything, or can you unmute?
She's at work right now. I don't know if she
can.
Right.
So probably not. All right. I'm sorry for putting you on the spot, Nan. Thank you for joining us. So I will send out a link and you can watch the whole program as soon as I get it posted to YouTube and Facebook. All right. Well, we have 5 minutes. If anybody else would like to say anything to Elmer.
I would like to say something. This Please. Is his daughter Suzanne.
Yes.
And I'm next to him trying to get the camera to work, but he has a different camera. I'm wearing a mask. So thank you very much for honoring my dad. Of course, as siblings, we all know what a great man he is and great father. All the wonderful vacations we've taken, and he was always there pushing us, whether it was education or sports. I remember when I was on the track team and he'd say, give it all, don't leave anything in the gas tank, just do your best. Whatever you do, make it for you and make your family happy and proud. And I know all of his kids are very proud of him, and we just love seeing all these wonderful people celebrate him, that we know what a wonderful person he is. So thank you very much for putting this together. It's great. I really appreciate this. Thank you.
Outstanding. Thank you for for sharing as well. All right. So I will.
Love you.
There we go. I heard that.
I was telling my dad I love him.
Right? That's always the best thing in the world to hear as a parent, is that your children actually love you instead of hating you. So 2 last comments I want to share. Arciniega commented, don't forget they supplied the books we give to San Pasquale Academy, which is a big help to us. Thank you very much on that. And Leela Sackfield says, his children so blessed to have him, cherish every single moment. And so with that, because I just babble way too much as it is, let's close our meeting, and I'll leave this open so people can chat. And let's take a look at our shower thought. There's nothing like individually wrapped candies to let you know exactly how many you've eaten. And
Andrew, how
right,
rude.
we'll ring the bell.
Yeah, the corollary is never count the wrappers.
Right, there's a good one too. There's a good one too.
That's
So
as bad
I will
as wine corks.
What about corpses?
That's as bad as wine corks.
Oh,
or as good as.
All right, we'll leave this open. Let people chat. Dara, I'm gonna text you here, or I'm gonna make a. I'm gonna chat to you here in 1 second. But everyone else, feel free to keep chatting here.
Well, bye everyone.
Bye.
Hey, congratulations, Elmer.
Congratulations, Elmer. Goodbye, everyone. Adios, muchachos.
Adios.
Rosa.
Oh, where is my hat? Oh, here are my hats. Okay, all of you have a witching night on Halloween. I want to be watching you. And he has even little legs, look. Happy Halloween, everybody.
Thank you.
I want to wish a spooky Halloween to everybody too, especially the trustees of the Esccondido Rotary Foundation.
Yeah.
Have we resolved our issue that Mike brought up?
We got the budget approved.
Right. And now Ron Smith shared the bylaws. And there's the only question that I had in looking at them is, do we have a staggered 3 elected members?
I don't think any of us know.
I don't either. Yeah.
Well, Mike, yesterday I promised you that I would dig into that a little bit, and I did. I have one other question too, and that is who we have that will be serving as the foundation president for this Rotary year. So those are the two things. Going back to the at-large members, they want, the club elects 3, and they run for a 3-year term staggered. And I have Lisa, Nora, and Baba for sure coming in the 1920 year. I think I came in this year, but I'm not sure. And that means, Mike, for you to stay on as a trustee, we could say that you were elected in the 1819 year and re-elect you for the 2021 year. And I think that would work.
Okay.
With regard to president, I just need to be told who, and if we don't have one, we need to elect one.
So you're saying Mike has been on the foundation board since 1819?
At least, yes.
Yeah, that was before the Civil War.
Well, we just need to make sure we stroke his ego as often as we need to keep the yes coming.
Yeah.
I'm like,
exactly.
I might even be seen, at least for a second anyway, wearing a UCLA hat or something. I don't know. If that's what it happens, I would do that. Upside down maybe, but I'd wear it.
Well, do we have to ratify that with a vote of the membership of the club?
For him to serve it going into 21, 22, yes. But otherwise, he's good until the end of this Rotary year.
I came in and had the last 2 years of, what was her name? Terry. So I think I'm rounding out my 5th year. So that would be right.
I think that's about right. But are we good for this current Rotary year?
Yes, except that I don't know who the president is. Because Rick, you said that you were out of that role in July 1, and I don't know.
I thought I was. I just made that assumption.
Yeah. Well,
but I'm happy to continue if that's the pleasure of this board.
In fact, as I look at it, the youth, vocational, community service, and international service are all automatics because they're elected into those positions.
That's correct.
Past presidents are appointed each year by the club president. So Rick, you would need to have Andrew appoint you for this year. Same thing with Nick. Same thing with Fred. It happens to be an annual appointment. And if you're willing to serve again, then Andrew would have to do that. And then for the at-large positions, it looks like we're good until the end of this year, at which time we hope we'll be able to re-elect Mike for another 3-year term.
Okay.
If nominated, I will not run. If elected, I will not serve. Just kidding, just kidding.
I know where you live. So is Andrew with us?
Laura didn't join us. I thought she came on briefly. I think she inherited some records from Mary Gertie's. It would have everybody's start of their term, but it looks like you figured it out.
Yeah. So we're good to go there. So we need to decide who. I mean, does the foundation, the trustees, actually select our own president from within the group?
As it was done in the past. That's how I became president.
Okay. Move to nominate Rick.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. So we have that in place. Was that before the horse? Because I mean, we got to get Andrew to actually appoint you guys. Small detail, but I think we can take care of that. I think we're good to go. We just have to have a formal action by Andrew somewhere in the minutes, maybe at the next board meeting. Because it doesn't say that it has to be elected by the club, it's appointed by the president. So he can do that when he's ready, and then we can ratify it next time we meet.
Okay.
And I'll apologize for not having called a meeting since February. There was just really nothing to report or to do. But I think our bylaws say that we're supposed to meet every other month.
Yeah.
Yes.
And one other thing, since we're all here, 2 days ago, or maybe two, I submitted a special funding request to the club and the foundation, $2,500 to build student desks for kids in the Esccondido Union School District. That, with what may end up being a district matching grant, total of $5,000, we think we can build upward around between 75 and 100 desks. So that request is coming through for you to ponder. And if you want a detail of the request itself, I'll send it out to you.
So that should go to the club board on the next meeting, on the 8th or the 10th?
Yeah, hopefully we can do something. If it's going to be approved, it'd be better to do it sooner than later. Time is of the essence in ordering materials and whatnot. And so the construction process can get started. The hope is to finish by Thanksgiving.
Yeah, Keith and I discussed this earlier. We have a lot of contingency funds around, but anything over 300 has to be approved by the club board and then the foundation board.
Right.
So let us know what you need and get it, we'll call a special club board meeting and then move on from there to the foundation.
Okay. Thank you, Mike.
Perfect.
And then if you guys got to get your power tools cleaned up and ready to go.
Want to borrow my radial arm saw?
Well, I don't know about borrow it, but we may ask you to put it to work. Are you allowed to breathe sawdust?
With a mask.
Okay, me too. No, there will be a role for everybody. Okay, that's all I got. Anybody else?
Where are you physically planning to put things together?
Well, Rick, I was talking with Kimberly Israel, who's going to represent the school district on this one. And my first request to her was to do it underneath one of the new solar generating parking lot awning structures. If we do it that way, we might have access to some plug-in tools if we need any, and have a cover and be working outside to help with the COVID mitigations we'll have to concern ourselves with. If that doesn't come through, maybe somebody that has an office building somewhere in a large parking lot might be able to get us outside to do this. I really think we're going to need to be outside when they're permitting.
Okay.
Yeah. The good news is that this has been replicated already a couple places across the country, and a group called Dream Builders back in Maryland sent me a 30-page detailed set of instructions on how to organize it and how to build it. I've already built 2 in my garage, so we're going to make it go.
How long did it take you to do them?
Well, I want to get if we can get the funding approval early, we can pre-cut a lot of the material and save a day. And otherwise, then I think it's going to maybe take a day and a half to assemble 100 with pre-cut materials and a smaller crew. Otherwise, we're talking about 2 full days and a ton of volunteers with saws on site cutting and assembling in a very organized way. There's a small amount of skilled labor and a large amount of unskilled labor involved. And so all we have to do is get the right number of volunteers and the right number of skilled laborers and we'll be fine.
Ron, I have a fair collection of hand tools, drills,
yeah,
circular saws, that sort of thing.
Okay.
Maybe you want to take an inventory of what I have.
Well, and we'll, that'll be part of the organizing is to have a comprehensive set of supplies and materials. We'll need tabletops, workbenches, some power tools, mostly battery tools, drill guns. We'll need a lot of those because we're going to drywall screw these things together. We'll have gluing stations. We'll have assembling stations. We'll have all kinds of stuff. Maybe even people with just with sandpaper.
Is that all we have?
Yep. Sounds like.
Yep, I don't have anything.
And I will circle back to Andrew as soon as we're done here and make sure he knows that he has 3 past presidents to appoint: Fred, Nick, and Rick. And we'll roll that in.
Trying to multitask. Okay. All right. Okay. Talk to you soon. Yeah. No. It's all good. Yes, I'm talking to you. Have a good, take care. Okay. All right. Sorry,
so, Andrew, were you with us for the last 5 minutes?
I was on the phone, unfortunately, with Dara trying to figure out our holiday program. So I missed what was actually being said.
Okay. Well, we covered the membership of the board for this Rotary year.
Yes.
It involves you needing to appoint Rick and Nick and Fred as the 3 past presidents to serve in this year. That's just like a formal statement to the board and to the club that you can make at the next meeting, perhaps.
Okay.
Your role to appoint, and we do that annually for the 3 past presidents that are willing to serve. Rick agreed once appointed to serve as president. We'll have Laura as secretary, Mike as treasurer, and then we also sorted out the staggered 3-year terms of those that were elected by the club.
Okay, perfect. So I will, I'll put together an announcement for next meeting that they've been, Rick, Nick, and Fred have been appointed. I don't remember all of the members, but I think they're there somewhere, and I can say that. And then are we planning for as we do the main board at the end of November, voting in December, should we do that for the 21-22 board as well, for the foundation board? So we do the Rotary leadership, we do the main club leadership, announcing the slate in November and voting in December.
Correct.
So should we put forth the foundation board for 21-22 at the same time?
I think I'm the only one that comes up for a vote.
Okay.
Correct.
Yeah, that sounds right.
So yeah, you could do it that way.
Okay.
And Mike said that he would pay you $20 for the privilege to get reelected.
Nice.
Ron, your nose is growing.
His nose is
and turning red too.
Right.
Growing and glowing.
All right, so I'll talk offline with Mike and Fred and Rick and we'll talk some more.
We need to get Fred to change his name to Frick.
Frick and Frack?
No.
Can you believe I know who Frick and Frack are?
How about Jack?
Jack, maybe that's what we'll do next week. Everyone's name, I'm going to get in there if I have time. I'm going to change everyone's name to Jack.
Yeah, that
sounds
hilarious.
Good.
One other thing, Andrew,
yes.
a request from me to both the board and the foundation. If that desk project grant request is going to go forward, an emergency board meeting would be greatly appreciated.
Okay.
Rather than wait, was it next Tuesday that we do that? Or
no, it'll be the following Tuesday. Next Tuesday is actually election day.
Helpful to the timeline of the project if that could get approved sooner, because then I can start buying some materials and doing the pre-cutting of the major components.
Okay, so we'll have an emergency board meeting next Tuesday morning.
Okay, thank you.
So Ron, can you and I touch base later and talk about Miriam? Seeing how fast we can get.
Oh yeah. Because that will need to be part of the board work. We have to, and then we probably have to publish it as well.
I'm not certain. When somebody comes back to the club after a leave, she's been gone for a fair amount of time.
Okay. Well, let me go back over what the rules say, and we'll make sure we're square on that. And if there's a way that we can get her in without doing a publishing, we'll certainly be happy to do that.
All right. Thank you, sir.
All righty.
So Andrew, I think we're done with you.
Oh, fine. See how you are.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you all for doing this.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right. Take care.
Watch out for the tricks.
Thank you all. Take care.